Can you visit Canada today while planning to become a permanent resident tomorrow? The answer is yes, and Canadian immigration law actually recognizes this concept. It's called dual intent. Many people believe that applying for permanent residence automatically prevents them from getting a visitor visa, study permit, or work permit. That's one of the biggest myths in Canadian immigration. In reality, you can have a genuine temporary reason to come to Canada, while also planning to apply for permanent residence in the future. But there's an important condition. You must still convince the immigration officer that you'll respect the conditions of your temporary stay and leave Canada if your permanent residence application isn't approved. In this video, we'll explain what dual intent really means, how immigration officers assess it, and how you can avoid the mistakes that lead to refusals. Dual intent means having two genuine plans at the same time. You may come to Canada temporarily as a visitor, student, or worker, while also planning to apply for permanent residence now or in the future. Canadian law allows both intentions to exist together. However, you must still prove that your temporary purpose is genuine, that you will respect the conditions of your stay, and that you will leave Canada if permanent residence is not approved. Dual intent is legally recognized in Canada. Having plans for permanent residence does not automatically prevent someone from applying for a visitor visa, study permit, or work permit. However, both intentions must be genuine. You must still prove that your temporary purpose is credible, that you will respect the conditions of your stay, and that you will leave Canada if your permanent residence plans are not approved. The officer will assess the full application, including your documents, personal circumstances, and overall credibility. When assessing dual intent, officers look at the entire application. They may consider the purpose of your visit, your financial situation, your ties outside Canada, your travel history, and whether your information is honest and consistent. Most importantly, the officer must be satisfied that you will leave Canada when your authorized stay ends if your permanent residence plans are unsuccessful. Clear explanations and strong supporting documents can help demonstrate that both of your intentions are genuine. Strong documentation can make a major difference in a dual intent application. Useful evidence may include proof of employment, property, family responsibilities, financial stability, and other ties outside Canada. You should also provide a clear travel plan, proof of funds, and documents that explain the temporary purpose of your visit. If you have future permanent residence plans, explain them honestly without suggesting that you will ignore the conditions of your temporary status. The goal is to show that your temporary visit is credible, well-supported, and consistent with your overall circumstances. Several mistakes can weaken a dual intent application. A vague explanation of your temporary purpose may make the officer question why you want to come to Canada now. Weak ties outside Canada, inconsistent information, insufficient funds, or missing documents can also create concerns. Another serious mistake is hiding your long-term plans. Dual intent is legal, but your information must be honest and consistent throughout the application. A strong application clearly explains both intentions, supports them with credible evidence, and shows that you understand and will follow the conditions of your temporary stay. Consider a visitor who wants to spend several weeks with family in Canada, while also preparing a future permanent residence application. That long-term goal does not automatically make the visit invalid. The visitor must still show a clear temporary purpose, enough funds for the trip, strong ties outside Canada, and a realistic plan to leave when the authorized stay ends. The application should explain both intentions honestly and support them with consistent documents. Dual intent can be accepted when the temporary visit is genuine, the future plan is lawful, and the applicant shows that they understand and will respect the conditions of their stay. Even with dual intent, you must continue following the rules of your temporary status. Visitors cannot work or study without proper authorization. Students and workers must respect the conditions listed on their permits. You must also leave Canada when your authorized stay ends unless you receive approval to extend or change your status. A future permanent residence plan does not cancel these obligations. Following the rules during your temporary stay helps protect your status, supports your credibility, and may strengthen future applications. When officers assess a dual intent application, they look at the full picture. They may consider your ties to your home country, the purpose of your visit, your financial ability, your travel plans, and whether your documents are complete and consistent. Your answers must also be credible and supported by evidence. The goal is to show that your temporary visit is genuine, even though you may also have lawful plans to apply for permanent residence. Dual intent can be accepted when both intentions are honest, realistic, and clearly explained. A permanent residence refusal does not automatically cancel your temporary status. You may remain in Canada only until the expiry date and under the conditions of your valid visitor, study, or work authorization. If you want to stay longer, you must apply for an extension or another appropriate status before your current authorization expires. If no lawful option is approved, you are expected to leave Canada on time. Dual intent depends on respecting this responsibility. Your future permanent residence plans never give you permission to overstay or ignore the conditions of your temporary status. Applying for permanent residence does not automatically prevent you from receiving a visitor visa. Canada recognizes that you may have a long-term goal of permanent residence while also having a genuine temporary reason to visit. However, the officer must still be satisfied that you will leave Canada when your authorized stay ends if your permanent residence application is delayed or refused. Your visitor visa application should clearly explain the purpose and length of your trip, your finances, your ties outside Canada, and your plan to return. A pending permanent residence application is not the main problem. What matters is whether your temporary intent is credible, lawful, and supported by evidence. Dual intent applications can become complicated when your immigration history, family circumstances, or future permanent residence plans require detailed explanation. Professional guidance may be helpful if you have previous refusals, limited ties outside Canada, unusual travel plans, or concerns about how your temporary and permanent intentions may be assessed. A qualified immigration lawyer or licensed consultant can help identify weaknesses, organize supporting documents, and ensure that your application presents one clear and consistent story. Professional assistance cannot guarantee approval, but it can help you understand the rules, avoid preventable mistakes, and prepare a stronger application. Dual intent is recognized in Canada, but approval is never automatic. You must clearly explain your temporary purpose, provide strong and consistent documents, and show that you will respect every condition of your stay. Officers look at your finances, travel plans, ties outside Canada, immigration history, and overall credibility. Your future permanent residence goals can exist alongside a genuine temporary visit, but both intentions must be honest, realistic, and well supported. Preparation, transparency, and compliance are the foundation of a strong dual intent application. Thank you for watching. To learn more about dual intent and other Canadian legal, visit 101legalways.com and read the full article. Share your questions or experiences in the comments. And remember to like, share, and subscribe for more practical Canadian legal information. Every case is different, so always rely on accurate information and seek professional guidance when needed. Stay informed, stay prepared, and we'll see you in the next video.